Women naturally want to do womanly things because God created us with those womanly desires in our hearts. That's a quote directly from a Oklahoma student's essay that's in the spotlight right now, to say the least.
There's this student that has filed like a discrimination case within her university, Oklahoma University, claiming that the zero she got on the paper where that quote is from was religious discrimination.
Yes.
Close the schools.
Close the schools.
Close the fucking
it's
schools.
It's ridiculous. And it's like what we got here is a situation where this woman was assigned an essay to like write a response, a 650-word response paper to some article that she had to read for a psychology class. Mm-hmm. This is a junior in a psychology class, right? Yeah. She had to write a response paper to this paper that was allegedly talking about like maybe let's make a case for, I don't know, some woke gender thing.
Well, the article itself is just about like gendered stereotypes and mental health.
That's what it is. Yeah. Exactly. Woke gender things. Yeah. They had to respond to a paper about gendered stereotypes and about how like kids tease each other to reinforce gendered stereotypes and whatnot. And that's what she pulled out of her bag. Yeah, no, this article is absolutely fucking insane. Or this the article about her like essay was absolutely insane. The situation is absolutely insane.
Yeah, Oklahoma is like seriously investigating this as a part of like or as an example of like First Amendment free speech violations on behalf of the university. The graduate student teacher, like the instructor for the course, has been put on like administrative leave or something like that. The
graduate student teacher gave them a 0 on this essay because they deserve a 0 on this essay. Nowhere, that's just one quote of it, but the entire thing is basically that, just over and over and over and over and over again. She's arguing that gendered stereotypes are good because God made us man and woman, and he made us that way because God made us that way, and that's why it's good because God made it.
Well, it's like you cannot be a college student and write a response paper to an academic article that you're given saying like the stereotypes are good because God. And gendered stereotypes are good because God.
And like cite God as truth.
Yeah, like in this essay, this student wrote, society is pushing the lie that there are multiple genders and everyone should be whatever they want is demonic and severely harms American youth.
Like that's just not up to any academic standard, no matter what way you slice it. Like, I'm sorry, you just can't do that. You can't respond to a paper. You can disagree. There are plenty of conservatives I went through, like during my time when I was in woke four-year university at Michigan State University. I encountered many conservatives who had many, many stupid ideas. You know what I mean? None of them failed their classes because of those stupid ideas, because they at least had some semblance of an argument, even if it wasn't good. Nobody ever goes to college and like is a conservative and fails because of their conservative ideology. They fail because they fail to even begin to defend it.
Yeah, you can't put in an essay, like a 650-word essay. This is supposed to be light work. You can't put in an essay that like trans people are evil because God said so.
Yes.
Like, yeah, you're going to fail that essay. That's not religious discrimination. It's you making a bad argument and also providing no source for any of the claims that you made throughout.
Source the Bible. Like you can't do that in college, man. You can maybe do that at your Thanksgiving dinner table, but you cannot do that when you're writing an academic paper in an academic environment.
Yeah, in an environment where like I am continuously disappointed with how often people use generative AI to write essays and stuff, I am glad that I can still be disappointed by the human brain itself.
Yeah.
Because this shit sucks, man.
It's crazy because it's like, oh yeah, this is the kind of person that like needs AI.
Yeah.
Like, this is the kind of person that like needs AI to write. Because I don't even think ChatGPT could have pulled this out of its bag.
Like, you can't be in a psychology class and cite the Bible.
No.
Like, what we're talking about, like...
It's a soft science. Like, you have to use evidence. Like, psychology students, at least at MSU, when I was in a psychology class, or, like, new people in psychology programs, part of your degree was going and participating in, like, psychological studies to understand how it worked.
Yeah.
You can't just say... God did.
Yeah.
Like you're fucking DJ Khaled.
And the reason we're talking about this is not because I just want to shit on some random conservative student, because the truth is that like this probably happens everywhere, right?
Exactly.
There are probably students at every single institution, especially like in the South in a place like Oklahoma, that are writing essays and just being like, God said this was good.
And
but the reason we're talking about this
to her credit, she was in high school during Ryan Walter's tenure.
So true. Well, yeah, child left behind.
Child left behind.
You know what I mean? Child left behind. But like, she, in this essay, like, is writing all this shit about trans people being demonic, saying that like women do womanly things, men do manly things, whatever the fuck that means. Seems like something you could like use some empirical evidence to back up, or just like define what womanly things are. Anyways, that's not the point. The reason we're talking about this is because it's become like a focus of the quote unquote culture war, right? Because Oklahoma came out and treated this as a serious case of discrimination, and a bunch of people, including the Turning Point chapter that's at this university, latched onto it and are using her as a sort sort of front to push their religious agenda. And that shit sucks bigly.
That shit does suck.
Because
bigly.
like I said, there's probably students like this fucking everywhere. A dime a dozen type shit. But if they're going to use this and launch it into like the national limelight, then yeah, I'm going to say this shit's stupid.
Exactly. And it's just like, it's this whole point that like universities are stacking themselves up against conservatives and trying to fail conservatives because they're conservative. But it's just like, this is the best example you got. Yeah. You seriously are pulling out the person who cited the Bible and only the Bible and didn't even cite it properly to make a scientific argument. Yeah, is your best example of universities being stacked against conservatives? You got to be kidding me, dude.
And even if you fully believe that like God created the universe, there are certain dictates that we should be following by God. Psychology is still a thing you can analyze.
Exactly.
God created, if you believe that, God created us with a certain psychology, and stereotypes are a thing that exists because of course they are. Like, find me a passage in the Bible that says like boys wear blue, girls wear pink. You know what I mean?
Shit.
It's not real. But if we believe the stereotypes are real human things, then you can analyze them separately from your religion.
And that's the thing that like it pisses me off even more about this, right? Yeah. Because like at every step where she could have given some like bullshit answer,
she could have tried at all.
At every step where she could have tried to defend her argument any way that wasn't the Bible, she just said, God made women women because God made women. And that's it, man. She couldn't even come up with like, I don't know, social cohesion is better and that's why we should just conform to stereotypes. No, that's not what we get. And I do got to correct myself because she didn't come up under Ryan Walters' tenure because he was elected in 2022. But I think that's an important point to say, an important correction to issue, because that's the kind of student that goes through the Oklahoma school system that got Ryan Walters elected in the first place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just ridiculous, dude. Throw the state away.
Oh my God, dude.
How has education failed us this much?
The absolute state of education in the South.
Yes.
It's fucking over. Welcome back to the show, everybody.
Welcome.
It is Monday, December 1st, and you're listening to Head in the Office. It's more HITO coming at you. Today we got to talk about bad shit. National Guard shooting in D.C. Not good stuff to see. Fucking ICE,
and AI. The intersection of two of my favorite things of 2025.
Absolutely excellent. And then we got a number of extras at the end. More just bad news.
All
around.
Surprisingly, like a lot happened like right before Thanksgiving, and it's not supposed to be like that.
It's not supposed to be like that. People are supposed to chill over the holidays. The president apparently did not catch that memo, but we'll be talking about that today. But before we get into the show, I'll remind you all, I'll beg you all, I'll plead.
Come on, guys, come on.
Become a patron.
Come on. Help us buy a house in cash.
Precisely. You've been thinking about it for months. I already know.
You have.
You're like, do I want early access? I don't know.
Oh my God, do I want it? Like, the news has been so crazy right now. Like, the news is still happening Thanksgiving. Like, I'm so behind on the news because these are the only guys I listen to get my news tertiarily. What am I going to do? Patreon.com's been right there waiting for you the whole time.
It's been right there waiting for you.
Come home.
Yeah, exactly. Come home to yourself. Really. Patreon.com/headintheofficepod. We need you over there. You get early access to all of our stuff and you help support the show. It's the morally right thing to do.
And you get cool postcards and stickers once every 2 months.
You can also consider becoming a subscriber on Substack. It's free, but you can also donate if you want.
Yeah, you can also just give me money.
Yeah. You all might have noticed in the feed last week, in place of the episode because of the Thanksgiving holiday, was a little reading I did of a Substack article that I wrote for the Substack. And we're not going to do videos like that for everything that we write, but maybe once in a while if you guys are good.
Exactly. And if you like it and think that that's something we should invest time in, you should let us know bigly, because the only way that we know what you like is if you tell us.
And if you want more of those, you should blow the Substack up bigly to justify the time investment.
Huge. And it's like, we're real friends here, and you keep real friendships going, especially if you're on the Patreon, we're real friends, and you keep real friendships going
by buying me a house in cash.
By buying me a house in cash and like communicating and having an open line of dialogue. And I just need you guys to communicate with me.
Absolutely.
That's advice for our relationship here and your relationships all around. So look, just check another box on things that we bring to your life.
That's right. We need it. Also, all the links in the description. If you want to buy some HITO merch, follow us on all the platforms. It's all down there. You can all check it out. And lastly, you can leave a 5-star review on Apple and Spotify.
Of which we have one.
We have one review on Apple to read today. This one from Sad Jets Fan 101, my primary tertiary news source.
Yes, sir.
I have written here before a year or so ago, and nothing has changed. I have been listening to you guys since around September of last year. Since then, I have, for totally unrelated reasons, I swear, become far more of a leftist.
Yeah, totally unrelated, because this is an NSPM 7 compliant show.
We are not radicalizing anybody at all. Highly recommend being a leftist. 10 out of 10. I condemn political violence, etc. cetera, et cetera. Thank you, sad Jets fan. You're probably going to keep being sad, though.
Yeah, you're probably definitely going to keep being sad. It's not looking too good. I know you guys have 2 wins.
Me too. I'm also sad because of how my fucking lines are performing.
The implosion after St. Brown did the Trump dance, and now he's fucking injured. He got himself injured because of the damn Trump dance. It's not because of the O-lineman. It's because of the Trump dance. I can tell you that, guaranteed, 100%. This next one from Cameron R. 10 mom billion stars out of 10. Everyone's Democrat. Everyone's Biden. Everyone's transgender. Everyone's condemns political violence and Hamas. And everyone is NM whatever 17 compliant. Great work as always, gentlemen.
Hell yeah.
Great work to you as well.
NSPM 7 compliant. This last review on Spotify from Dult, 5 out of 5 stars. Still hoping to get the Karine Jean-Pierre book review. And to that, I will say, special announcement before we get into the news. We will be doing a book review of Karine Jean-Pierre's Independent.
I got it with me right now in my backpack.
Towards the end of December, we'll plan it so it comes out the week of probably Christmas time.
Exactly. HITO Christmas special.
Yeah,
Independent
Christmas
by
special.
Karine Jean-Pierre book review. Come on now.
It'll be our Christmas special. So keep your eyes and ears out for that. Should be a fun little read. And I also figure, since we're talking about books, we should announce Unfettered is not happening. First of all, it seems like it's boring. 290 pages of just John Fetterman being depressed. I don't want to catch it by proxy.
Yep.
And also, there's a number of times, according to the reviews I've seen, where he's just talking about wanting to kill himself. And
how am I supposed to clown on that?
Exactly. We can't have fun with that.
I can't have fun with that. I saw it in the bookstore when I was picking up Independent by Karine Jean-Pierre, and I was like, Unfettered, I ought to give it a good old college try. And the foreword is something about depression. I'm like, okay, can't make fun of that one. Can't make fun of that. Can't make fun of this guy. And then I start reading, and it's just fucking boring.
Yeah.
It just does the politician book thing of they open it up by being like, yeah, everything's crazy. And when it's crazy, I like to go take a walk. And it's like, all right, buddy. Come on now.
I do like how the premise of the book seems to be I'm plagued by self-doubt. I'm having a terrible time. I never wanted to be a senator. but yeah, you should believe in me. And also I'm batting 1,000 on Israel. I'm plagued by self-doubt, but on Israel, I'm right.
And there's our Unfettered book review. If you're looking forward to that one, please recommend us other politician books that are good that we can read, because I'm in the mood to check them out. It's the season for it.
Christmas?
Just the winter. I'm sitting there. I'm in my apartment and getting cozy. Want to sit down, nuzzle up with a good bad book.
You could not torture yourself and read something good.
No.
Fair enough.
I can't.
Fair enough.
I gotta alternate. I gotta alternate between them.
He's a fiend for it. So anyway, that book review's coming later this month, and I hope you all get excited for it and check it out. But starting off the news coverage here, we got to talk about something that happened just before Thanksgiving last week on Wednesday. So of course we didn't get to it because we recorded on Monday. But on Wednesday, a lone shooter opened fire on 2 members of the National Guard in the District of Columbia, D.C., leaving them in critical condition. Since then, at least since as of December 1st, one of them has been confirmed dead while the other is in critical condition in the hospital. So bad. Condemn.
I condemn political violence.
I do.
Point blank. Get it off rip right there.
Yeah. And if we were to stop there, you might think, wow, DC is such a dangerous place. But the story has nuance.
The story has nuance. The story continues. There's layers to it.
So let's get into the official narrative as follows. The New York Times, quote, the authorities said the suspect, I'm going to fucking butcher this, Rahmanullah Lakinwal, had driven across the country from Washington state to carry out the attack. Lakinwal was a refugee admitted from Afghanistan in 2021 after Joe Biden pulled the military out. And apparently, and this is where things start to get fucking weird.
Yeah. Because it's like, you see the story. When I saw the story initially, I was like, oh, okay, random act of violence. I got initially scared because I was like, this is what the administration's been waiting for a while. They
goodbye civil rights and liberties.
Goodbye civil rights. Goodbye anything that's good and holy and just. They're going to crack down bigly.
Patriot Act 2.
More on that later. But right now I thought, okay, lone gunman, maybe a crazy whatever. And it just got so much worse.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This guy, again, when I saw that he was a refugee, from Afghanistan, admitted under Joe Biden, I was like, all right, it's over, right? Civil rights gone. We're going to crack down. We're going to go into martial law, at least in
even
DC.
More Islamophobia.
But then we learned shortly after that he was working for the CIA while in Afghanistan under what's called a zero unit. Zero units are essentially the CIA operation. They're paramilitary organizations. They often conducted raids at night on buildings with bad intelligence, and they were notoriously known for killing innocent civilians. We literally just death squad shit.
Cool.
This guy was a part of death squad shit in Afghanistan. And if you know anything about our occupation of Afghanistan, it lasted a really long time. We got this guy when he was a young teenager, inducted him into this CIA operation, and then like 20 some years later, or however many years later, he comes and does an act of violence in the United States. It should be the least surprising thing to anybody.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. We got this dude. We were an occupying force in his country. We brought him into a CIA operation where he was killing people in his own country, committing just inhumane violations of human rights. And then we bring him back because of like some shred of responsibility or need to like do something to make us not look so evil on the world stage, bring some people back into the United States after destroying their country. And then he does something bad. Yeah. We should not be surprised by this.
And it's just like, the most interesting part about like that to me is this whole like after this, obviously Trump did take it as an excuse to crack down at least some extent, but this time on immigration. He announced that order that was pausing immigration. I don't know the exact details of it like right now, but he did that thing. No more anybody else coming into the country ever again. And this is Joe Biden's fault. You had a lot of people like Alex Jones, all the conservative pundits saying this is Joe Biden's fault for the horrible Afghanistan pullout. The people that Joe Biden like let in when he was doing it, even though this guy was vetted. And what I'm thinking about is it's like, of all the Afghans that were vetted from our Afghan pullout to be like brought back over here, this would never be a guy that the government flags as we can't let this guy in because he's CIA, because of all this stuff.
He was an asset.
They love that. Mm-hmm. They fuck with that stuff. And nobody actually wants to recognize like what that does to somebody or that may be a red flag if we like let this kind of thing go unchecked. It's always going to be the like, I don't know, interpreter who didn't really do anything else much that gets left behind. Not this guy, not the guy who was an asset, not the guy who did all the horrible like state violence for us.
Yeah, like the influence around the world that the U.S. has had, just the absolute destruction that we've caused has, of course, destroyed people mentally and radicalized populations against us. And this is a truth that liberals like to just ignore because it's hard for them to believe that in the quote-unquote rules-based order, we're a force for evil. And then conservatives are like, I don't care. Like, they deserve it. They're the kind of person I don't like. And that often reads as just like brown or Muslim or whatever. But this is our impact around the world. And we should not be surprised when we bring somebody like this back, somebody that we have utterly destroyed over the course of however many years. He was a CIA asset. And then he does something bad. It should not be surprising.
Sucks bigly. Can. But it's like, fuck, man. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's a cliche, the stories about like veterans who did some, I don't know, things overseas, whatever those things may be. They come back, they have untreated PTSD, they got obvious mental problems that are going on that they don't get the support for, and then they go and do an act of violence. They go and lash out and do something like this. Like it's a cliche. Usually it's just American soldiers, and this time now it's an Afghan guy that was our soldier, a CIA asset.
Yeah, it's just this like, this whole DC shooting National Guard thing, it just reminds me of people that go on and on about like Havana syndrome. It's like, oh, our CIA assets are being hit by like a Havana ray gun in Cuba or whatever, and that's what's making them depressed and anxious and paranoid all the time. It's like, no, we have them torture people. That's why they're like this. There's no deep conspiracy. It's just that we make people do terrible things to other people.
Maybe these people are dissociating because we're training them to dissociate from their humanity to carry out the acts we order them to.
Yeah, they feel physically ill because they have done terrible things to other people, and then they come back and do bad shit to their own people in their own country. Like, it's the least surprising thing ever. Yeah. There's no conspiracy behind it. I don't think this was like a false flag operation or some like plot on behalf of some like terror group within the United States. I think this is a guy who had a really bad time because we made him do death squad shit, and now he's doing death squad shit here, killing people.
Yeah, it's a lone gunman who lashed out at something he was like upset at, I guess. Or maybe who fucking knows. Usually these guys are always politically incoherent.
Yeah, and I do want to just like hammer the point home on these zero units from a quote from ProPublica. Quote, at least 452 civilians were killed in 107 raids by zero units. This number is almost certainly an undercount. While some raids did result in the capture or death of known militants, others killed bystanders or appeared to target people for no clear reason. A troubling number of raids appeared to have relied on faulty intelligence by the CIA and other U.S. intelligence gathering services, and because this was a CIA operation, tons and tons of the information is still classified.
I like how it's, some got the death of known militants.
Some of them didn't just like wantonly kill civilians.
Yeah, some like did the thing we were supposed to do. Of the 107 of them, like, come on, man, our standards are so low.
It's just like U.S. influence around the world has been so overwhelmingly destructive and negative and harmful that we simply should not be surprised when some violence comes back home.
Yeah.
Like, it is the most obvious thing to happen. We should not be surprised by this.
Of course we let him through. He was our guy.
Yeah, that's us, man.
Of course he got vetted to come in here. The biggest, like, I guess, red flag on his thing was something that we largely, like, celebrate in this country.
The biggest red flag is that he worked for us.
Exactly. Precisely. The biggest red flag is that he did war crimes for us. We let dudes do that all the time.
Yeah, that probably, like, sped up the process, quite honestly.
There's an argument that Graham Plattner going and working for Blackwater actually may help him in Maine. Like, you know what I like?
Yes,
it's just that's not something we ever evaluate in a way that maybe we should. I don't know. I don't think that it's a fucked conversation.
Yeah. It is funny, though, that, like, anytime we have some, like, story about foreign policy or that involves somebody from the foreign policy realm and it has to do with shit that happened under Obama, it's always so much more evil than I think is possible.
Yeah.
Like, every Obama staffer is fucking evil, and everything I learned about Obama foreign policy was fucking evil.
No, literally, anytime I hear former Obama staffer says, I know I can turn it off because I know it's going to be something that my ears were never meant to hear. It's going to be something that's going to hurt and maybe be literally painful.
Like, I knew and I know from my standpoint that, like, the Obama administration was not as good as a lot of libs will have you believe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some progress was made in some areas, but overwhelmingly foreign policy was just a fucking disaster in a way that it's been for quite a long time. But every time we hear about someone from the Obama administration, or we hear about shit like zero units that happened under the Obama administration, it's like, wow, it was worse than I thought.
Yeah.
Because I was just a little baby boy back when Barack Obama first became president. You know what I mean? I wasn't paying attention back then, but now looking back, it's like, wow, this guy was awful.
And it's like, how am I supposed to, like, I don't know, find out information about zero units until something like this happens? Like, some of this stuff, it's like, it happens just out there in the open, but it's like maybe it's a banal thing or it's like a minor thing. It just wouldn't be newsworthy otherwise, considering other things that were happening at the time. Yeah. So no one ever talks about it until now.
Yeah. But as you can imagine, Trump and the GOP absolutely pounced on the opportunity to generalize this to all migrants. Trump said he was going to pause migration from, quote, all third world countries to enable the, quote, U.S. system to fully recover.
So it's just everywhere.
Whatever that means. The White House also said that all immigration from Afghanistan would be paused. The USCIS, which is like the immigration agency, is also re-examining the green cards of people from a list of 19 different countries. Read Muslim. So that's great. And then he also promised 500 more troops to be deployed to D.C. Broad generalizations coming out of the Trump administration, as you might expect, because one, this person's brown, and two, this person's an immigrant from another country. Here's the problem with these generalizations, though, apart from the fact that, like, you shouldn't make generalizations about groups of people based on ethnicity or skin color. Trump claims that this DC shooter came in from Afghanistan under Joe Biden with no vetting whatsoever. First of all, we can say with a good amount of certainty that there was vetting.
Yeah.
And this vetting process included us probably knowing that he was a CIA agent, which, like we said earlier,
then saying, probably gas, you're through.
It probably fast-tracked it because, again, he was our guy.
Yeah, oh, cool.
Second of all, this guy, the shooter, was granted asylum in April under the Trump administration.
Brother, come on.
He was just granted asylum by Donald Trump and his administration.
You know how many of those are going through right now? You know how many asylum claims are going through right now? It's not a thing that you hear about too often.
And I can almost guarantee it's because he was CIA.
Exactly.
Like,
no, that's literally what it was. He was a state asset. He was already known to the military, and the military is like, oh, I can vouch for this guy. And they let him through. And whether they do an evaluation on him or whatnot, even if they saw PTSD on there, they'd be like, oh, that's fake and gay. Let him through.
Yeah.
And then they let him through because the Republicans treat PTSD like it's just some like fake and gay thing. And then we get veterans go shoot up somewhere. And it was like, how could this have happened?
It should not be shocking to anybody that when a military occupies a foreign nation and then makes some of the people in that foreign nation do violence against civilians that they live with, that's going to destroy some psyches.
Yeah.
And that's going to make them do some violent stuff if they come back with us.
When you go around and only complete your mission some of the time,
rarely,
and your mission involves such high stakes, that's going to suck.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to do bad things to you.
I mean, they were a death squad. And like the history, the U.S. has a long history of funding death squads. It's one of our favorite things to do, in fact. Anytime we want to do intervention into a country or change political outcomes or change regimes or whatever, we tend to fund death squads to do evil things. because when we destabilize a country, it lets us do whatever we want with them. It's the same shit here. They were just death squads. They would pull up and just kill people.
That's crazy. It's
fucking evil. Again, Trump gave this guy asylum back in April. And then from ABC, quote, according to Nome, there have been 8,000 such individuals since Trump took office, meaning people granted asylum because they came here from Afghanistan. Nome and Patel have suggested in recent congressional testimony that the administration had carefully scrutinized all of them. Patel and Nome are on record saying, no, we scrutinized all of them. It's all cool. I believe that was from testimony back in September.
And it's like, of course it's so cool. You can't predict when things like this are going to happen.
Of course.
That's why you can't go and generalize to the entire population of people. You can't go and say, some fucking Afghan guy did this, time to stop all Afghans from entering the country. Oh, some Muslim did this, time to persecute all Muslims. You can't do that. It doesn't work.
Yeah, and that's the reason that I bring these quotes and this information up, right? Because I'm not trying to say that, like, oh, look, the vetting requirements are super weak under Democrats and Republicans. We need to crack down more. No, it's to disarm this narrative that, like, you can judge somebody on the basis of them being an immigrant or a refugee or an asylum seeker or whatever. I would much rather us judge them on the basis of them being a CIA plant or a CIA asset. That seems to be more of a proxy for, I don't know, doing violence to people.
It seems like it. One would think somebody who, I don't know, was trained from when they were 16, you said?
Something like that.
To, like, I don't know, do violence and, like, kill civilians in some instances wouldn't be super well adjusted.
Yeah. So to me, the story is fundamentally about two things, right? One, Lochinwall, the shooter, was a CIA asset for literal years. We made him do immoral, detestable things in his own country. And when he was brought back here, his brain was probably totally fried.
Yeah.
And just like guessing how refugees tend to be treated both under Democratic and Republican administrations, he probably didn't like receive the help he needed. And then he lashed out and did a bad thing.
And it's also just like a ridiculous experience in of itself to just like move to a new country under those circumstances.
Because we invaded your other country.
Because we invaded your country, basically damn near kind of kicked you out, even though we're calling you a refugee and we're bringing you here. It's like, did you really have a choice?
Yeah.
You worked for us, and now the guys that we were working against rule the place. You didn't really have a choice. You had to get out of there.
Well, yeah, because the Taliban would have killed him.
Exactly. You're coming to a new place that's wildly different from where you are. That's traumatic in of itself. There's a lot going on. Like, you know?
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know, man. It was either he comes here, we leave him behind, right? And like I said, there's been thousands of people that worked with the United States government as we tried to build a regime, do regime change in Afghanistan, that we brought back here out of some like sliver of commitment to the people that actually helped us do some shit. Just like out of some sense that like, if we leave these people, they will just die, right? The Taliban will just execute them. It's a good thing that we offer those people entrance into this country. But like, again, we can't like just make broad generalizations.
The whole like story here is just about how you can't make broad generalizations. Yeah, this thing sucked. Yeah, this individual guy, like the CIA stuff is like, come on. You know what I mean? Come on. Like there's like sometimes that thing happens. And they're two separate parts of the story.
Yeah.
You know?
And then the bigger piece here, which you haven't really talked about at all, the National Guard shouldn't be in D.C.
Yeah.
Would not have happened if the National Guard was not in D.C.
Yeah.
We don't know this guy's motive, so I can't say if he was coming at this from any like anti-National Guard, anti-Trump perspective, although I'm sure right-wingers will argue that he was. But
either way, functionally, that's what it is, because functionally, that's what's been blasted all across the airwaves. That's what everyone's going to believe this is, and that's what the optics would lead you to believe.
But the point is that from the beginning, we said that if Trump deploys the National Guard and other military members to U.S. cities, eventually someone's going to do something violent against them because they are an occupying force in a U.S. city. And that's what happened here. I don't know why bro drove from Washington State to D.C. to make it happen. That's literally across the country. But we said from the beginning, someone will do something violent because you are embracing the aesthetics of violence. That is the purpose of it.
We on the show have been talking about how like, they're waiting for something to happen so that they can crack down even more. They're waiting for something to happen. They're intentionally trying to up the tensions with National Guard deployments and near protests, National Guard deployments here, there, what ICE is doing, just the increasingly violent actions that they're taking so that they can justify just doing more and more and more. And that's kind of the situation we have on our hands right now.
Yep. And that's like the story to me is like, this guy was a CIA plant or he was a CIA asset and we shouldn't have the National Guard deployed in DC whatsoever. So now you're caught up on everything that's happened, Trump's response and what might be happening after that. But there has still been a little bit of fallout from this story.
Okay.
People are still being questioned. Kristi Noem yesterday, again, the secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, somebody who's sort of has domain or purview over stuff like this, refugees coming in from Afghanistan. She went on the Sunday shows and she was asked about this case specifically. And she was asked repeatedly about the fact that she previously said everyone was scrutinized and this guy got asylum in April, and she dodged those questions repeatedly. But what she did say, which I thought was incredibly telling, was that this guy, the shooter, was radicalized after getting into the United States. He was radical, and the implication
by Antifa.
The implication is that it's like Antifa or some terrorist unit, right? Inside the United States.
It's Antifa. It's all the radical Islamists that live in Washington.
It's like, but he was radicalized because of us. Because of the CIA.
So if he would have been over there, he's fine. So they're not the problem. So the problem is us. Like, that's what you're telling me.
It's a part of this narrative from the administration about like the enemy from within. But in all reality, this guy was radicalized because we were having him do death squad shit in Afghanistan.
She's telling on herself.
Like the occupying force was having him do death squad shit against civilians in his own country. That's why he's like this. That's why he was radicalized or whatever. It's just absurd to claim that like he would have been normal if he wasn't ever brought here. We broke his mind by having him kill innocent people.
And it's like, way to dodge the question, man. And it's like it's so funny that she thinks that she can just go out there and just throw that out there, not elaborate whatsoever at all, and people would just like be like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, sure, makes sense.
Yeah. And she also said that they are going to be changing the vetting process because of this attack, likely just making it harder for people to like earn refugee status, right?
Cool.
So what's happening here is
not those guys.
Yeah.
Not guys like him. Not guys like him who worked for us, who were the CIA assets before. It's like, it's so absurd on its face.
Yeah, you're making it harder on people that are more vulnerable than this guy ever was, probably, because they aren't CIA agents or whatever.
It's something like there's such a weird line with the story.
Yeah, but what the government is doing is using an attack by one guy to crack down on immigrants that look the same and are from just the same area of the world. Not just Afghanistan, but a bunch of different countries in that area as well. It's so fucking stupid. Noem also said that she would move to deport people with pending asylum claims. And it's
for
like,
what?
Exactly.
Just 'cause?
For what? Yeah. No, it's like, again, we're just embracing the aesthetics of violence for no fucking reason. The story is so dumb.
It feels like, is this what things were like post 9/11? Like, is this what things were like, I don't know, September fucking 12th? Like, it feels like we're going back to a level of just like Islamophobia that's like
unreasonable.
Yeah. Like, not that it was ever reasonable in the past, not that it was reasonable post 9/11, but it's just like, why? Like, how did we get here again?
I don't know, man. I don't know. But, you know, not to just hate on Republicans too much, Mark Kelly made this bipartisan for us. Mark Kelly obviously has been under a lot of scrutiny from the right wing after making that "you do not have to obey illegal orders" video with our favorite Alyssa Slotkin. So he's been going to bat with some Republicans, with dudes like Hegseth. But he went on the Sunday shows immediately after Kristi Noem and was asked about some of the things that she said, and he provided a response. And this is what he said, quote, "It sounds like there was some vetting done in the last administration. It sounds like they did not do enough vetting before they gave him his asylum claim. She talked about changing the vetting process. I think that's a good idea."
You're never gonna like vet a population to the point where something like this doesn't happen ever.
Yeah.
Like, that's just not how that works.
And like you said, the CIA asset's not getting vetted. He was a CIA asset. We already know everything about him. Yeah. We know everything he's ever done. And we're always going to allow those guys to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Like, this story is fundamentally not about vetting. It's about the right wing using it as an example as to why, like, all immigrants are bad.
And this is the Democrats once again, like, ceding ground on an issue that is immigration.
For no reason.
This is all immigration just for no reason. You're not going to get more points. You're not going to out the Islamophobe generators. Like, that's not what's going to happen, dude. Mark Kelly, you do not need to take this stance. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense in the first place to have been able to vet this out of the guy. You think he's sitting there being like, oh my God, when Donald Trump deploys the National Guard to DC, I'm going to go and shoot them? That's not something you're ever going to be able to find on a vetting application. You'll find maybe PTSD. You'll find that he did some questionable things because you told him to, and you'll be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and Mark Kelly, if this guy had never done this, he would have been like, oh yeah, he was an upstanding person in the CIA for us in Afghanistan.
Exactly. You cannot vet something like this out. Sometimes people in a population have things that just go under the radar because it's impossible to detect them. And then something happens, they snap snap maybe, and then they go and do an act of violence. Every veteran that goes to the VA, do we sit there and look at, we may give them a mental health evaluation, but do we actually like give a shit? You know what I like? It just, none of this makes sense. You have, if you want to like actually solve problems like this, or if you want to look at this broadly politically and think about your political future and messaging and the Democrats and all those big nebulous concepts, you have to go and say one immigrant did something bad. That doesn't mean that every immigrant will also do something bad.
Yeah.
Just go with it.
In fact, the
there.
stats don't even come close to bearing that out.
Yes.
Like it's absurd. Like Republicans at every single turn every single crisis into a way to scapegoat immigrants and a way to demonize immigrants and increase hostility and aggression towards immigrants and refugees, people seeking asylum. And almost every single time Democrats are like, yeah, okay, maybe we should be tougher on the border.
No, literally.
Like so rarely do Democrats actually push back against this narrative.
I want to come on here and say, like, I get why Mark Kelly is doing it rhetorically, like, because of where the winds of culture are blowing. Motherfuckers are just Islamophobic, and you got to capitulate a little bit if you want to occupy the centrist lane. But it's just like, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that. And I wouldn't even trust somebody to go and do that performatively, because I know guys like Mark Kelly are going to go in there and be like, yeah, we should actually fiddle with the knobs of the vetting process.
But like, I don't know, when somebody like Mark Kelly or like any of the other moderates in the Senate capitulate on an issue like immigration,
they believe it.
Well, they might believe it. They might be like, well, I want a sensible policy towards immigration that's strong on the border. But the issue is that everyone who's bought into like the strong on the border rhetoric has done so on the false pretenses established by the right wing.
Yeah.
They lie all the time. Still to this day, JD Vance will say 30 million illegal immigrants came in under Joe Biden. It's not true.
It's not true.
It has never been true. They just make shit up. And so when you capitulate on this rhetoric, you're capitulating in a direction of a party that has lied about everything that has to do with this issue, and you're never going to be able to beat them on it, because the reason people are like leaning towards the right on this issue is them and their lies.
And it's just like, I don't understand why we really like try and aim super hard for this constituency of like centrist Democrats who are like mildly Islamophobic, mildly xenophobic, and like all these other things, and try and appeal to immigration and Islamophobia in this like sensible centrist way, when in my life, and I know this is anecdotal, I've only not even like I've never interacted with a person that was like that, with a person who was like the prototypical centrist. I've only like heard of them.
No, centrists aren't real.
And it's like one person that I know.
Nobody is like principally a centrist. If they're principally a centrist, they're right wing.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They're just right wing with a coat of blue paint.
Nobody's principally a centrist unless they're like clinically insane or they're just right wingers in disguise. And anybody out there that calls themselves moderate probably has a number of just completely inconsistent positions.
Well, they just don't want to. They just don't want the bad PR that comes with being a Republican.
Yeah,
like they still want to, I don't know, go to art galleries and shit.
Or I mean, just like regular people that say like, oh, I think I'm moderate. They're probably not.
Oh, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. That's why.
Exactly. It's fucking insane. Like when Kristi Noem literally said that there's been like 8,000 people that have come in under the asylum process since Trump took office that were like our assets in Afghanistan. That means there's like what? Fucking a 0.001% of them have done something violent?
Yeah.
Like, there's just no grounds to generalize at all. The story fundamentally is not about vetting procedures.
And it's like, you could
Why are we conceding?
You could fucking say that if you go on these fucking interviews and you're like, you do the right thing, which is not all immigrants will do this, whatnot. We can't generalize to a population. And the journalist really wants to press you about like, oh, vetting, could we vet this out? You say, I don't even think we can vet this out. Mm-hmm. Like, this isn't something that you could vet this out. And you say, maybe we can look at how we vet people, but I don't think that that's where the real problem is. We need to focus on how Trump is taking this, and he's trying to crack down on every single person that wants to enter in the country because of something one guy did.
Or maybe we should take a look at like what we make our assets do when we're doing regime change overseas. Like, maybe we shouldn't make civilians kill other civilians. I don't know.
I don't understand the centrist or moderate Democrat reflex to instantly go and absorb the framing that right-wingers put out into the world, and just instantly go and say, oh, right-wingers framed it this way, we're going to take that and not even they don't even fucking try to spin it. They see that people believe it because they see that conservatives got out there first with a message that hit harder, and they say, okay, let me take this message and maybe try and fiddle with a knob here and there and turn some knobs and maybe up some levers, and they don't fucking do anything. Yeah. They just continue to allow right-wing ideas to become more normalized. They continue to allow this horrible shit to permeate throughout society, all while saying, well, I'm aiming for the voter in the middle.
Yeah, and Mark Kelly here can't even hide behind like, oh, I'm a border state great. We're talking about Afghanistan.
Yeah.
We're talking about refugees from Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Like that has nothing to do with you being on the border of fucking Mexico.
But it's like, you remember, God, was it like a year ago during the general election, like roundup? Wasn't Trump trying to say, there was like this story where people were like, oh, look at Iranian immigrants are trying to come into the U.S. through the Mexico border? I think that was during the Republican presidential debate.
That's awesome, dude.
Which is so sick, man. Are you serious?
No, it's just when it comes to dudes like Mark Kelly and other like centrist moderate types, it's like at best they're just being like incompetent. They're just like bad at doing messaging, and at worst, cynically, they are glad that the messaging has shifted to the right wing and they can get away with just talking about the vetting process rather than having to debunk the fact that like immigrants are human beings that can't be generalized to based on what a couple of them do.
It's like these people just like think that all ideas are valid. You know what I mean? It's like
they think that Republicans are coming at this in good faith.
Exactly. And they need to understand that they're not. Yeah. They need to understand that Trump doesn't actually give a shit about immigration. It's just convenient for him. It's just convenient to appoint immigrants as these scapegoats so he can get into power and, I don't know, give himself a crypto coin and launder billions of dollars and get a new fucking jet out of it and then make his family rich and sell the Middle East to Jared Kushner.
Well, I think my hot take is that I don't think anybody actually gives a shit about immigration.
Nobody cares.
Unless you like live like near the border, I don't think anybody actually cares. Like if you're up in fucking Iowa, I do not believe that your top issue is immigration.
Yeah.
I think you are just using it as a proxy to say brown person scary.
But it's weird because I think a lot of those voters do think that immigration is one of their top like concerns, but it's not.
But they don't understand literally anything about the issue.
Like, the only people that care about immigration are like, I guess maybe some people in border states and people who broadly like aren't affected about it. None of these politicians actually fucking care.
But like that's why I say that like Democrats conceding on the issue is just pandering to anxieties on this issue in a way that just strengthens the right-wing narrative.
Yeah.
Like we have to reject the narrative and argue, no, immigrants are human beings and you cannot generalize to all of them based on what some of them do.
You can't.
Just basic
like,
tenets.
They operate like they can go out here and like, I don't know, do some like judo-esque flip when Republicans put out a talking point where they grab it, take its momentum, and then bring it to themselves. When in reality, they're just falling down with it.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's so fucking dumb. But I think that wraps up the National Guard portion of this episode here.
We've got the podcast. We've got the TikToks. Long form, short form. What about mid form?
We need that mid form.
We need mid form that's not mid. And that's why you should check out the Head in the Office Substack.
Absolutely. If you're a fan of the written word, if you're a fan of prose, if you're a fan of compelling writing, then you have to check out the Substack, headintheoffice.substack.com. You can find all of our think pieces, all of our opinions, and all of our summaries of the latest breaking news.
In an infinitely more shareable format than this show.
That's right. Now it's time to talk about more evil.
Time to talk about more evil. Time to talk about ICE, which is like awful.
Yeah, the modern Gestapo doing terrible things. ICE just pulled up to Dearborn.
Yes, ICE
Dearborn,
is running
Michigan.
through Dearborn.
About 15 minutes away from the great city of Detroit. Bad,
very bad. I don't fuck with that at all.
And the liberal response.
Oh, Twitter was popping off. Twitter was popping off like, I want these people to suffer. They deserve it. They voted for this, and it's like dog.
If you look at ICE pulling up on Dearborn and you say, I'm glad this is happening, they're getting what they voted for, I think you're a fucking psychopath.
Yes.
And somebody needs to take a look at your brain. If you look at ICE besieging a community and you celebrate it because like 43% of people in that community voted for Trump, you're crazy. You are, especially considering that like ICE is going to go after the people that probably couldn't vote.
It literally couldn't vote.
What are we talking about? You are insane. Like, I can't get myself into the liberal brain to figure out why they think saying, haha, I'm glad you're suffering is a good way to win back votes.
And it's like so many people think that like liberals specifically are like the smug ivory tower elite party.
Yeah.
Like even people who vote for Democrats think that liberals act that way because in these instances they do. And it's a thing that like even beyond like ICE being in communities that they don't like, so they think it's okay to just like punish them with something that is otherwise an awful and evil overreach of what the state is doing. I can't stand this like liberal idea that it's okay to like relish in the suffering of people who live in red areas because they may or may not have voted red.
And Dearborn's not even a red area. It just shifted very obviously because of what Joe Biden was doing geopolitically.
Yeah, or it's like people talk about like Georgia. Oh, like blah, blah, blah is hitting Georgia. They're taking away these things in Georgia. Georgia's going to get hit really hard by something Trump did. It's like a lot of the people in Georgia did not vote for Trump. In fact, most people in Georgia did not vote for Trump despite how Trump won the state because a lot of people just don't vote in general.
Same thing with Dearborn, yeah.
Yes, I want people to understand that elections have consequences. I want people to be able to like see how they vote affects their life, but it should not be to this extent. I will never like relish in the suffering of somebody who voted for Trump because they're suffering under Trump. Instead, I will take that as an opportunity to be like, yeah, Trump did that.
I swear, dude, we're all going to be facing the wall one day, and the liberals are going to be smugly smiling, saying, you should have listened to me.
Yeah.
And then we're never going to see each other again.
Because I was going to see black and nothing in darkness, and I won't even be able to comprehend it.
It's just like on an interpersonal level, if you have a family member that's like on Medicaid or uses SNAP or something like that voted for Trump, and you go up to them and say like, hey, dog, you're stupid. I can understand that inclination.
Yeah.
Because there's a desire to feel vindicated about your political positions and how they influence the world, right? On an interpersonal level, I can just about understand that. The issue comes in when we're talking about entire communities of people. Because like 40-some% of people in because 40-some% of people that actually turned out in Dearborn voted for Trump, we're going to relish in the other however many, thousands of people that are going to be impacted by ICE besieging the city. We're going to celebrate that? And you think that's going to endear you to people? You think that's going to endear voters to you and your party after in the next election? It's just fucking crazy. And like the most logical version of this is, like you said, like people need to suffer to understand that there are consequences to making decisions politically, and that suffering will get them to act differently in the future. But that fundamentally misunderstands why people might have shifted to Trump in a place like Dearborn. They shifted to Trump because they were already suffering. Their families were already suffering under Joe Biden because of his policy on Gaza.
And it's also like there are two like big problems here. One, there's the problem in of itself that people are suffering because of a politician's policies that they may or may not have voted for. And there's the other problem of you relishing in it.
Yes.
Like you relishing in it is completely different than you pointing out that like, hey, X community voted for Trump. Trump is doing this to specifically harm X community. It's interesting how voters are voting against their best interests here. But like, it's the personal like relishment that it's personally being satisfied that these people are suffering by liberals that I just cannot stand, and I don't think does anything to like further a political project. It's purely for you to maybe feel good about being right in one instance when there are like real consequences with real people's lives being played with.
It's just like in a place like Dearborn, they did not. There wasn't this shift towards Trump because they were affirmatively voting in favor of Donald Trump because they liked his policies. It was, at least in part, by my estimation, a protest vote against what Joe Biden was doing in a place like Gaza. And so it might be the case that like the suffering inflicted upon a community like Dearborn by Donald Trump will get them to vote for a Democrat in, say, 2028, right? Like that might be the case. They might vote for a Democrat because of these policies reflexively in 2026 when we have a senator to vote for.
Or even what Trump is doing to Gaza may flip them over to Democrats in 2028 or whatever, or may just disillusion them from voting for either.
But my point is that depending on the suffering of these voters under a Republican to then vote for a Democrat next time is not a way to build a coalition, because these voters know that behind closed doors or just on social media in anonymity, you fucking hate them.
Yes.
You hate them and you relish in their suffering if they disagree with you politically.
They're going to see that, and they're going to say, I'm not welcome here either way. I may just disinvolve myself from politics writ large.
Yeah, like I disagree with any Dearborn voters that switched up and voted for Donald Trump when they voted for Joe Biden in 2020. Like I think that was a bad decision. But in no world am I glad the Gestapo's pulling up to their neighborhood and whisking their, friends and kids away or whatever.
And it's like, how do we not understand broadly right now that voters react to situations that are in front of them with the people who are in power right now?
Yeah.
Voters, like the vast majority of voters are not going out there and weighing policies against each other, trying to figure out who's going to have the best economy after they implement X, Y, and Z. They're saying, my life sucks right now. This guy's in power. I'm going to vote for the other guy because my life hasn't gotten any better under this guy with power. So why would I do it again?
Or in Dearborn specifically, the whole Gaza.
Exactly. With Dearborn specifically in Gaza, they saw Joe Biden is facilitating Israel's genocide in Gaza. I may or may not have family over there right now that Joe Biden's killing, that a bomb that Josh Shapiro and Nikki Haley signed is killing right now. So I'm not going to vote for them. Either I'm going to abstain or I'm going to vote for Trump in protest. They're seeing that Trump doing the same fucking thing or doing a fake piece or or whatnot, they're probably going to say, oh, fuck, can't vote for that guy again either. Like, voters react to the situations that are in front of them. It does nothing to just go around and be like, you're suffering right now.
Yeah.
Especially as a person who is supposed to be, like, principally opposed to that suffering in the first place. That's why we talk about, like, the politics of empathy, like empathy-based politics. I don't want to see Republicans in Texas go without food stamps. I don't want to see Republicans in Texas die because Trump defunded the National Weather Service, or NOAA, and now they don't have, like, flood response times that would save people's lives. That's a bit silly. And that was another conversation we had to have earlier in this year when Democrats were, like, relishing in the idea that Texans were hurt down there.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking stupid, and it makes me think that you don't care about anything, which, I mean, let's be real, like, a lot of these, like, centrist lib types that are doing this don't actually give a shit about anything, like, or they want to be smug online and get internet points.
In an era where Democrats are viewed as, like, inauthentic, and a lot of people think, like, oh, Democrats just don't like me, like, they just do not fuck with like us as voters, you shouldn't make that problem worse.
Yes.
Let alone, like, the moral implications of being like, yes, I'm glad that these people are being deported. That shit sucks.
It sucks so bad.
Yeah.
Because, like, especially with ICE with ICE in Dearborn, ICE's operation is horrible on its face, no matter what way you slice it. I guess there are, like, very few people that ICE could grab that would ever be good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Again, on, like, we were talking about generalizations in the last segment. The people that look at this and say they, quote unquote, voted for this, crazy. Especially because Dearborn did not decide the election. Yes. Kamala Harris didn't just lose because of the electoral votes in Michigan.
Dearborn didn't decide Michigan.
She lost. Dearborn didn't decide Michigan, and she lost every swing state. Like, it was not Arab voters, people upset about Biden's policy in Gaza, that are the reason Kamala Harris
You're
lost.
telling me every swing state in the country also has their own version of the city with the highest concentration of Arab immigrants in, like, this side of the world?
Yeah. And it's just like saying they, quote unquote, they voted for this when you're referring to, like, 40% of one community.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, you're doing it because they're brown. Like, you're doing it because they're brown.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. Anyways, not to derail that whole segment, but let's get into ICE using AI.
Yeah, I'm not going to bury the lead here, but I will talk about this at the end. Basically, ICE is using AI to write their use of force authorizations.
Man, I am left wondering what use case AI has that isn't evil.
Exactly.
In, like, theft from artists.
Like, what do you mean ICE is using AI to write use of force authorizations?
Yeah.
Like,
Use of force. That's crazy.
Really? You have to. But just some background here, right? Earlier this month, a federal judge issued an injunction restricting ICE's use of force against protesters and journalists in Chicago during the Operation Midway Bliss that was going on. Because if you don't recall, ICE was just, like, beating the shit out of protesters and journalists and pastors.
Yeah.
In some instances.
And on an aesthetic point, Midway Blitz sounds like some Nazi shit.
Absolutely. So, Blitzkrieg.
Blitzkrieg.
Operation Midway Blitzkrieg.
That was probably Stephen Miller's first pitch. But like,
after he plagiarized that Goebbels speech, he said, guys...
Operation Midway Blitzkrieg. Wasn't there some, like, Operation Midway something during World War II? I can't remember.
Dude.
But, like, yeah, that sounds like Nazi shit.
It does not. It sounds like Nazi shit, and it is Nazi shit.
Well, yeah.
At point blank, because it's like, what the fuck is ICE doing? Yeah. You know what I mean? But basically, the judge that issued that injunction just recently, I believe last week or the week prior, released her, like, over 200-page opinion where Judge Sarah Ellis said the Department of Homeland Security's narrative contradicts the reality of what can be seen on agents' body-worn cameras. She had to publish this as her justification for the injunction.
Yeah.
And I just really want to get into, like, some of the specific reasons that were cited as to, like, where this disconnect is coming from.
You're out here reading judges' opinion pieces?
I know. I'm reading ABC7 Chicago's
because tertiary news.
So the judge's opinion would be the primary source. ABC7 Chicago looked at it and got some body camera footage and said, okay, let's publish this secondary source. And then I'm listening to it and recounting it to you, tertiary source. And then you're going to go to your friends and be like, guys, this shit's crazy, quaternary source.
Hell yeah.
And that's how information should flow in the ideal world.
That's the left-wing pipeline.
Exactly. Fuck all the YouTube, the algorithm, and whatnot. We're moving from sources. We're moving down the list.
Who else is reading articles about judges' opinions? Huh?
Exactly.
Nobody.
Guys, I can't. It's a 200-page opinion, and also body cam footage that she ordered to be released accompanying it. I can't go through all that.
It's too much.
But our good friends of the show at ABC7 Chicago compiled examples from the footage.
Our colleagues,
I
really.
want to read you some of the highlights because we're journalists.
Yeah.
Outside the Broadview ICE facility in late September, a line of agents were standing at least 30 feet away from protesters, and out of nowhere, they started yelling at the protesters to move back, and then they shot them with pepper balls and tear gas.
Mm-hmm.
That just what happened. These ICE agents are sitting 30 feet from protesters. Protesters are not approaching them.
Yeah.
They're just standing there, and this guy just gets itchy. Trigger finger itching. Move back. Bang, bang, bang.
Well, probably because these ICE agents joined specifically so they could do violence.
Exactly.
As many anecdotes prove.
That's some shit you do when you're playing Ready or Not.
My friends are in the ears screaming at me, do not shoot.
Exactly.
And I'm on the game.
On the video game Ready or Not, where you're like a SWAT team officer. That's the type of shit you do.
Yeah. Because I'm role-playing an ICE agent.
Exactly, precisely.
Yeah.
And I put the military gear on, and I fully spec'd out my guy to make fun of them.
Yeah, art imitates reality, as you said.
100%. And just for no reason, the protests weren't moving forward. The protesters weren't moving forward at all. They weren't moving towards them. They weren't doing anything. And that's the conclusion that the federal judge came across, not just me. From the ABC7 Chicago article, quote, an agent wrote in his use of force report about this incident that protesters were becoming increasingly hostile. However, Judge Ellis wrote in her opinion, the video shows protesters were simply standing there when agents first deployed any force. Dude's just standing there at the ICE facility, and then you get shot with a pepper ball.
Yeah, you damn near have a moral obligation to record these guys anytime they're around you.
This is body cam footage from ICE.
Oh, this is body
cam footage that she ordered released.
It's so galling to just like lie about what they got you on video doing.
Exactly. Lie what you got yourself on video doing. You say, hey guys, it's like a vlog. Hey guys, today I'm going to be brutalizing protesters. Today I'm going to be doing civil rights violations.
Like it's right there.
Yeah.
They got you right there.
And it's like, this goes back to this like idea that we've been talking about ever since we started seriously talking about like ICE agents being masked and what anonymity does, of just like the gall of these people to think that they can get away with any and everything just because like Stephen Miller told them to be evil.
Yeah.
They think they can do anything, even when they have a literal camera on their person. Fucked up and crazy. In another instance, agents said in reports, and DHS publicized that a bicyclist threw a bike at agents, but in a video Ellis released, it, quote, makes clear that agents first throw tear gas, then take a protester's bike, throwing it, and multiple other protesters to the ground after deploying tear gas.
Oh my God, dog.
ICE is using force, saying actually the protesters did it first, and then using more force to lie about the situation in their reports.
And then they just throw this dude's bike.
They said a bike got thrown at them. DHS published articles that said protesters threw a bike at an ICE agent, and then the footage drops. Bro gets caught in 4K taking a bike from a protester and throwing it back at them, and then launching tear gas into a crowd.
Just a complete lie.
The itchiest trigger fingers I've ever seen, dude. It makes like the discipline of police officers look like the gold standard.
Yeah, and that's saying something.
Man. It's crazy because they're just plucking guys off the streets like the Lions secondary last year.
ICE is so IDF coded.
Yeah.
Like it's so 100%. IDF coded. Which shouldn't be a surprise.
They are itching to do anything that they can. They are itching to lash out at people, at protesters. They are not equipped to be doing this job. And then they are not trained to be doing this job.
And then they just brazenly lie about the circumstances of what happened. And it's like, dog, they have you on camera.
Yeah.
They got you right there throwing a bike at someone, and you said someone threw a bike at you?
Yeah. And you're going to publish an article saying that, even though you know that you have a body camera on you that can see you in first person. In first person, picking up a bike and throwing it.
They got you in first person.
And then tear gas. What the fuck are we doing? He's charging. Come on, man. It's ridiculous. And it's this part of why like ICE is such just an awful organization.
Yeah.
These agents think even when there are cameras everywhere, not only are there cameras on their person, on the streets, on protesters, when protesters record them, they think they can operate with impunity. They think none of this will ever get back to them and nothing will ever happen. And I mean, so far, nothing has.
Yeah.
DHS is denying any evidence of wrongdoing, despite this judge seeing in body cam footage and seeing in reports that they publish, in their official reports, that there are discrepancies, there are inconsistencies, there's information that conflicts with itself.
Yeah.
And DHS is still denying wrongdoing? What are we talking about?
Again, the bare minimum from a Democrat in 2028, if they're running for president, is gonna have to be abolish ICE entirely. Yeah. This organization is just being used as an instrument for violence and fascism. They brazenly lie about the circumstances of any altercation they get in. They blame protesters for everything. This organization cannot exist. It was built in 2003. during the war on terror, just as it was starting up. It cannot be allowed to continue.
Yes.
It is fundamentally evil.
And it's like ICE agents just constantly walk around and act like elementary schoolers who got in a fight.
Yeah.
They sit there and they're so mad, and then they get in trouble. They get caught by the lady on the playground and they go, but he did it first. Oh no, but he did it first. And they just lie their ass off brazenly and in front of everybody. And there's just nothing we can do about it. You got to be kidding me. That can't be allowed in the 21st century.
Yeah.
That's not what modern law enforcement should look like.
Yeah, and like I don't know. Again, you never have to like give it to the police. You know what I mean?
Never.
But at the very least, I don't see cops wearing masks like these guys do. and cops could make the argument that they should wear masks on the same basis as ICE agents. ICE agents say that they got to protect their identities because their family might get attacked.
They probably got a better argument for it.
Yeah, but police probably have a better argument for it. Still not a good one.
Not a good argument.
I don't think law enforcement should ever be anonymous.
Precisely.
But like these ICE agents fucking covering their faces, running around, lying about what protesters are doing. These guys are fucking cowards.
And it's like they're doing the nuh-uh, but he did it first thing. But instead of like name calling and roughhousing, it's state violence and civil rights violations.
Yeah.
It's just not something that should be allowed. Adults shouldn't be acting like this.
Crimes against humanity.
And I feel like that's a theme that we have running through the entire administration is just adults should not be acting like this, dude. This shit is fucking embarrassing. It's embarrassing, man.
Between fucking Kash Patel, RFK, Kristi Noem, the stupidest people imaginable are running this country.
Fucking losers.
Yeah, big on losers.
We cannot forget that ICE agents are fucking losers because that's a very important part of all of this analysis, right? And because it's like a lot of the people who are joining ICE right now just want to do it so they can live out these like shitty action movie fantasies at the expense of like real people with real lives.
Yeah.
They just want to pretend that in their life or they otherwise got like nothing else going for them, that they can go around and they can be an action movie hero by raiding apartment buildings and putting like 3-year-olds in handcuffs and bringing them outside and making them wait on the cold Chicago street.
Yeah. Yeah. And I am very glad that the world no longer considers I was just following orders to be a good argument to like escape accountability for your actions. ICE agents are committing some of the most egregious violations of human rights and civil rights we have seen in quite a while in this country. And Jesus Christ, I really hope that the next person that gets to be in charge of this agency fucking does something about it. These people should face trial.
No, absolutely.
Like, it's crazy.
It's not okay what they're doing. And they are really just going out there and they're trying to act like this action movie star who's just going around and hurting any and everyone who gets in their way so that they can do their goal of getting the bad guys who are just immigrants who are here and like most of them have literally done nothing wrong. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And they think they can act with impunity in doing so. They want to do all this action without any of the like actual responsibility or accountability that comes with any of that in real life.
It's just, and like on an aesthetic point, like ICE agents think they're so hard when they put like an old woman in handcuffs.
Yeah.
like you got your gaiter on, you got your tight ass sunglasses, your military gear, your camouflage in an urban environment, and they think they're hard as hell when they like zip tie a kid.
Yeah.
You look stupid.
They think all those fucking edits that the White House posts of like, I don't know, some crazy instrumental over B-roll of them just arresting kids is like actually cool and shit. When they show the body cam footage of them charging up a Chicago apartment building with fucking with a gun, like trained on whoever opens the door, like it's 0 Dark 30. Like it's none of this is cool. You guys are fucking lame. You're LARPing in real life.
It's the aura farming that gets me. Like, you put aside the abuses of civil rights, which hard to just ignore. But like the fact that they think this goes hard, is crazy.
Arguably a worse or equal or worse violation. Thinking that
being
this
cringe.
goes hard, being
cringe.
Nobody being cringe in 2025.
It just like it takes me back to when they were like sailing down the Chicago River.
Yes.
Like there is no function for that other than getting a cool video.
That's exactly what I was just about to bring up because it's just like a waste of government time and resources to have CBP agents patrolling the Chicago River, which splits through Chicago.
Yeah.
We got immigrants going from one side of Chicago to the other side of Chicago. Nobody's swimming through that river to do that, dog. What are we fucking talking about?
Next to Lake Michigan.
And you as an agent can't even go get any. What are you going to do? Brown guy spotted on the corner of 22nd and 3? Mm-hmm. What are we talking about?
It's so fucking corny. We can never lose sight of how fucking stupid and lame these people are.
And that's why I say they just want to be in an action movie.
Yeah.
But it's not even a B movie. It's a goddamn C, D, E, Z, E, F movie, whatever the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah.
They want this action, but they don't want accountability. They don't want responsibility. They don't want to do any of the things that law enforcement like actually like should do and is supposed to do. Mm-hmm. And that's why they use ChatGPT to write their use of force authorizations.
Bringing it full circle, baby.
Gotta bring it full circle, man. When they're not attacking protesters, they are using ChatGPT to write their reports. This shit is just beyond parody. And I say they, but in the footage dump that we got from the federal judge, there is at least one body cam footage of there's at least one body cam video of an ICE agent asking ChatGPT to compile a narrative for a report after giving the program a brief description and several images. Bro couldn't even describe pictures himself. He uploaded pictures to ChatGPT and he said, make a narrative out of this.
Oh my God, dude.
That has got to be one of the like grossest uses of AI I've ever seen in my entire life. What a man-made horror beyond even my own comprehension here. You can't ChatGPT, I just beat the shit out of this protester. Here's a picture. Write an excuse for me. That's what this fucking is. That's what's going on. And that's real. That's body cam footage, bro, is caught in 4K in a video dump from a federal judge. And in her 200-page report, she wrote as a footnote, the fact that ICE agents may be using ChatGPT and AI to write their use of force justifications explains the inconsistencies and the misleading nature of these reports and why the facts do not match the reality of what we're seeing in the footage.
Yeah, because ChatGPT is designed to be like, that's a fantastic idea. You're a modern genius. Here's what I think to build a.
It's a glaze machine.
Yeah, let's collaborate on this idea. Like, I don't think I have enough like of a grasp on the English language to describe how fucking awful this is.
Yeah, no, that's my exact thought too.
I can't do it.
It's a man-made horror beyond my comprehension.
Yes.
Hey, ChatGPT, I just beat the shit out of these protesters and threw a bicycle at them and then shot them with pepper balls and tear gas. Can you write a justification for that? Mm-hmm. Can you write me my use of force authorization? What are we talking about?
I can't do it, dude. There's nothing I can say here. It's truly beyond parody because there's nothing else I can say here that would like add to the conversation.
Exactly.
Because this shit is just so on its face ridiculous.
On its face is crazy. Because it's like, this is what a dumbass would use ChatGPT for.
It's like, it's everything about everything we know about ICE agents would lead me to believe exactly this about them.
Exactly.
It's all totally in line.
The type of guy who joins ICE right now is the type of guy who would use ChatGPT to do anything for him.
Yes.
Of course this is what he's using AI for, because this is what like the use case is of AI for the average consumer. It's, make me a fucking movie, haha, and brain rot at the screen, or just like do this work for me so I can go out there and beat the shit out of more people. Mm-hmm. Come on, man. It's crazy. And it's like, if this is a widespread thing, which it very well could be like a widespread thing throughout ICE, I can't confirm nor deny that. That means that we either have like no idea whether ICE agents in their use of force authorizations are knowingly lying about what they're doing, or they're like taking pictures of the scene and having ChatGPT write up their own AI version of a write-up to go out there and make up a story for them without actually having been there. Or more likely, it's like some combination of both. These agents are going out there, they're knowingly lying in their reports, and they're having fucking AI lie harder for them, and don't even have the wherewithal to think to proofread it.
It's just so fucking insane. Like, the type of guy that would think putting an abuela in handcuffs is cool is the same guy who would use ChatGPT to justify it.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy, man.
It's so gas, dude.
It sucks.
Yeah, and that's why ICE is using AI to write use of force authorizations. Isn't that gas?
This organization's got to go. It's got to be gone. Everybody that has ever worked for it or participated in these raids and these violations has to be put on trial. We cannot keep living like this.
I need the AI bubble to pop, and I need these guys to go. Mm-hmm. Like, I need the AI bubble to pop. I need that whole industry to like collapse, and then I stop getting pushed. Grok, is this true? And then I need ICE agents to just like, I don't know, go back to whatever the fuck they were doing before this.
Put them in a factory, dude.
Put them in
have them building low-income housing. I don't know. They need to be given community service.
Yeah. There we go, man. Because I can't imagine being a judge, like a federal judge, right? Working my whole life, going through law school, becoming an accomplished person, sitting through, looking like, oh my God, why do these reports from these agents seem to just not be matching reality? Sifting through body cam footage, like clearly this body cam shows them throwing a bike at a protester, not a protester throwing a bike at them. What happened here? And then stumbling across the one video where the ICE agent goes, hey, ChatGPT.
Do you think that they like actually described what was happening and like tried to get a full report, or they're just like, how do I make myself look good? Like, how do I make this not look as bad as it is?
I think like what was described is they like put a couple sentences in, like describing like the scene or whatever, then uploaded images and said, give me a narrative. Like, put this in a narrative. Like, isn't that like if you're an ICE agent, I imagine that you kind of like relish in what you do. Like, you enjoy like the suffering you're inflicting on people, because that's kind of like how it's been marketed to like this like next wave of ICE agents, or the people who are doing it right now, is that it's cool what you're doing. It's really cool that you're arresting and tackling these protesters. So it's like, how is that not the thing you want to write about?
But like every minute you spend writing about it, you can't be doing it.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta have ChatGPT do this so I can get back out on the field.
Yeah.
I gotta go do more tear gas and pepper balls.
And as soon as you ask ChatGPT to describe how I, brutalized this young man in a way that doesn't make it look so bad, ChatGPT is like, yes, sir, right away. You're very smart, by the way. And then it spits out some description that does not match reality. And now a judge is like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah.
I wonder if she could like run the reports through like an AI checker, if those even
Dude, that'd be
work at
so
all.
fucking cool.
Yeah.
Run it through Turnitin.
Yeah, 100% AI, 100% AI, just all of them.
We got massive M dashes in reports by guys who never graduated high school.
Yeah.
I love the country, man. I love the state of things right now. It's so good. AI is really making everything better, isn't it?
Oh, man.
AI is fulfilling the use case of like making my life easier, getting rid of the mundane work, police reports.
There's got to be like at least a few ICE agent reports out there that they filled out where they copied like the whole output.
Yeah.
Like at the end when ChatGPT is like, let me know if you need any changes. There's got to be at least a few of those out in the wild that like judges just haven't found yet. You know what I mean?
They got the prompt in there.
Yeah, like sent from my iPhone type beat.
Here's your narrative that makes you look good and makes the protester look bad.
Because it feels like they're stupid enough to do that by accident.
I've corrected your narrative where the protester is bad with the following grammatical corrections. God damn, dude. It's... What a fucking world is that? Everybody's a child. ICE is exactly the kind of person that would do this. You know, the kind of person that's like abstaining from using ChatGPT to like do things like make their grocery list or like help them write whatever the fuck it is just like...
The grocery list thing to me is egregious. What do you mean you don't know what you need? Open up the fucking pantry,
What do you mean
dog?
you don't know if you got milk?
Yeah.
You can't see if you have eggs? Check the carton, brother.
You know what you regularly need. Just go shopping and look at the shelves.
ChatGPT gonna eat it for you too.
I just like, oh man.
Grok, can you eat my food?
A few weeks ago, we were hating on the people that own the AI, the IP, and now we got to hate on the people that use it. Because Jesus Christ,
Yeah, no, 'cause it is bad.
I genuinely think less of you as a person if you use AI for day-to-day tasks.
Because like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
And I think you join ICE.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
that's what you do. You guys are on the same level right now for me.
there's a Venn diagram of like easy marks for ICE and people that use ChatGPT for like their shopping lists.
Yeah.
And those are almost just one circle.
Look, motherfuckers love to talk about how like TikTok is ruining your attention span, which to an extent it is. Like, it's true. Short form content does like nuke your brain.
Yeah.
You know what? But guilty.
Yeah.
Guilty as charged. I'm a part of the system. I contribute to it, whatever. But there's got to be something more about how AI just removes your ability to fucking think.
Yeah.
If you are going to AI to be like, AI, can you do this for me? Can you write my grocery list for me? Can you do this? What are you thinking about like on your own?
Well, and like AI isn't being sold to businesses as a way to like displace workers and spy on immigrants through mass surveillance. So that is another difference from TikTok. Yes. I know social media can like indirectly be used for government surveillance, but like AI is being directly sold to the government through like Palantir as a way to spy on people.
It's so we talked about this last week, but again, like, it is so funny the difference between what consumer-based AI is like marketed for, what AI is being marketed for to like specific agencies, and what AI is being sold to the government for. It's surveillance, kicking people out, military applications. The ICE thing is like a broad problem, by the way.
Yeah.
Like a couple weeks ago, I haven't been able to like work this into the show until now. Like, I stumbled upon this like video essay that was talking about how there are AI companies right now that are specializing in software that helps cops write their reports.
Yeah.
Which it's like, of course it would be. Of course there would be. Of course AI would write cops police reports for them.
I think we talked a while ago about how ICE has contracted, I don't know if it's with Palantir or with another AI company, to essentially make a model that can like, what's it called? Just like screen or scan through social medias to find people to deport.
What the
like
fuck,
it's the
man?
most evil shit. I think it actually is Palantir. We talked about that story a while ago. The company also worked with Israel, so it's like the most evil combination of organizations and countries imaginable. But it sucks. It's really bad.
Yeah, everything sucks now. Everything is really bad. AI's making everything actively worse. Actively worse, man. I bet this guy, I don't even know. That's the worst consumer use case I could see for this thing.
I just like a few years ago, this just didn't exist. It just wasn't a problem. Wasn't a thing we had to worry about.
Yeah, I didn't have to worry about this. I didn't have to worry about contending with any of this.
Yeah.
I didn't have to worry about, like, it's easy enough to lie.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you have to have an AI lie for you?
Yeah.
I can understand to an extent why some people want to outsource their problem solving or creative thinking to AI because they don't got the juice in it for themselves.
Yeah.
I can understand why they do it. I reject it on its face, but I get it.
Well, it's like we're losing the archetype of the crooked cop.
Yeah,
like the crooked cop lies on the report after doing terrible shit to people.
You can't let them take that away from you.
And now the crooked cop says, "Hey Grok, can you write this for me?" At Grok, is this true? Like it's like the cold open, right? Like I think what the Oklahoma student did was wrong and bad, and she should have failed the assignment, and the university should not be cracking down on the teacher for giving her a 0. But at the same time, I respect not putting it into ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And just like coming out here and saying stupid shit with your chest.
I respect the game. I respect the hustle. I respect a person who can like be a full person. I'll never deny the full spectrum of humanity from people. And the full spectrum of humanity includes being like dumb and bad.
Oh yeah. Like ChatGPT would never drop the word demonic in a college paper. I don't think, like, I had written pages on pages on pages for my college assignments. Never once should I use the word demonic.
No, the context has got to be real specific.
Yeah. Like outside of religious studies, of course.
Yeah, of course.
But like, damn, ChatGPT's never putting up shit like this.
Look at what AI is taking from you. AI is taking the bad apple out of the bunch.
Yeah.
And it's spoiling the whole bunch still because they're all using AI to lie to you about police reports.
Just making
and
our
then this
brains
shit
mush.
might end up in court.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was another thing the judge like brought up in her criticism of this practice is that like what happens when AI writes a use of force I cannot say force today. Writes a use of force authorization or even just a regular like report that ICE had to do. That report ends up in court, and because the agent never double checked it, he's publishing lies or submitting lies as evidence. Like this
he
is
doesn't
something,
even remember it because he didn't write it.
This is something that has the potential to like completely break the justice system. And that's just another notch in AI's, another feather in AI's cap.
But it's going to break the justice system in like a bad way.
Or
in a not good way.
It's going to break the justice system in like a cool tech way, like a cool
cyberpunk,
like a cool like future tech. I love technology, and look at ChatGPT. What do I need from the grocery store?
Yeah, if cyberpunk were real, I would be V, the main character, with the cool cyber arms and like the mantis blades coming out. I wouldn't be the person who works 16 hours at a food stall.
No,
that would not be me.
No.
I would be the cool guy at the head of at the top of the corporation.
Guys, you don't get it. I'm different. I'm the main character.
I am Saburo Arasaka. That's me. I would not be the person that works at the very bottom rungs of these corporations.
Yeah, and all these dystopian societies, like you don't get it. Like I'm the guy that like does the shit.
Yeah,
the cool stuff.
Everyone else is suffering, but like I got it good. That's me. Anyways.
Or like I'm suffering in a performative way.
Yeah, but it's like cool though.
Or like I'm suffering in a way that's like romantic. Like I'm romanticizing the struggle. Like, oh my God, look at me huddling over this flame to do something, but it's like cool and there's atmosphere.
And like there's better things to come.
And I know that if I struggle now, I'll persevere.
Yeah. Because it's a merit-based society. I hate commercials.
Me too.
I hate listening to them. I hate when I hear them, whether it's on TV or on podcasts.
Grr, I just can't stand commercials.
They're the worst. And the one place you can go to avoid commercials, like this one you're listening to right now, is patreon.com/headintheofficepod. Become a patron, and you get early access to our episodes, and they're all completely commercial-free. No more interruptions.
And you could be one of our friends.
And that's arguably the more important point.
And, you know, in trying times like this, friendship is what we really need.
Friendship's really important. And you can buy your way into being a friend of ours by heading over to patreon.com/headintheofficepod. Again, early access to episodes, no commercials, access to all of our content before anyone else sees it. Become a patron. Anyways, leaving off on some extras, and they all just happen to be war news. I'm going to start with the Russia-Ukraine stuff briefly, just because there's not much to talk about here. Essentially, Russia-Ukraine peace talks are being held. As you might imagine, Marco Rubio's at the tip of this, which is how you know it's going very well. And Trump is essentially just like selling out everything to Russia. As we said when we talked about all these wars that Trump, quote-unquote, ended during the holiday pregame episode, it does matter how wars end. Even if Trump did end 8 wars, he didn't, as we'll talk about. You should check out the holiday pregame episode. More holidays are coming up, obviously. But even if he did end, 8 different wars, and he's on to his 9th right now with Russia-Ukraine, it matters how these wars end. And it looks like if what's happening right now is any indication, the end is just going to be Russia gets everything they want.
Oh, nice. That's really cool.
Like Russia gets the 2 regions that they invaded at the very beginning. Cool. It's like, well, that's not great.
No, I like normalizing that.
Yeah.
I like emboldening people who think that they can do like land wars in 2025.
Yeah, we don't talk about Russia, Ukraine a whole lot because, like you said, it's just a war, right? Like it's just two nations fighting it out. There's not much we can do about that. It's a war.
Congress doesn't do much about it anymore. Yeah. Nobody's like virtue signaling about, oh, we're sending trillions of dollars to Ukraine anymore. Bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, of course. Speaking of fish that we're about to fry, Venezuela.
Huge on fish that are about to be fried.
It seems like we're just gonna do war with Venezuela because Trump ordered the Venezuelan airspace to be closed over this weekend. Venezuelan officials responded essentially by calling this a hostile act. A bunch of other countries a bunch of other countries in Latin America are like, hey dog, stop. I think like Colombia and maybe not El Salvador because that dude fucks with us. Honduras maybe, I can't remember which countries. We're essentially like, hey Trump, stop. This shit sucks. But it seems like we're going to do it anyway. I mean, we got like 15,000 troops off the coast of Venezuela.
We got the biggest aircraft carrier ever.
The biggest aircraft carrier in the world, of course, owned by the United States that is off the coast of Venezuela. We got fucking submarines for some reason off the coast of Venezuela. Far more than we need to attack a few drug boats. We are seemingly going to war. And like maybe we'll go to war, land war in Venezuela. Maybe we'll even take a city or two. I think we're going to get annihilated in the jungles of Venezuela or the forests of Venezuela.
It happens every time.
Yeah.
We're not real good at that.
Welcome back, Vietnam.
Welcome back, Vietnam. Welcome back, I don't know, any other environment that we try and invade.
Yeah, I don't know the topography of Venezuela, but I would imagine it's not going to go well for us.
No. Also just stupid.
And I'm starting to think this isn't even like an oil thing. No. Because it's not like Venezuela was like not sharing its oil reserves with the world.
I think like they've been doing it like more and more too, haven't they?
Yeah, I think it's just like Trump wants to project strength onto someone and he's got a bone to pick with Maduro and so does Marco Rubio. Yeah. Marco Rubio fucking hates Latin America in every conceivable way.
Why?
I don't know.
Like why, brother? I don't understand. And it's like, please don't go to war. Me getting on here taking a principled stance against war. Put it down in the history books, folks. I'm like the guy that threw the shoe at Bush, except I would never do that to any elected official.
Could you imagine that happening today?
Yeah, that'd be insane.
The shoe at Bush is crazy.
Shoe at Bush, like I'm on the right side of history while things happen and everything's falling apart.
Yeah, speaking of Venezuela, Pete Hegseth is getting that double tap in.
Yeah, Pete Hegseth. It recently came out, I think the Washington Post did a report that Pete Hegseth, like I think the first strike, or at least the strike that he did on a boat in the Caribbean that we couldn't prove had drugs on it. He did the initial strike. There were 2 survivors that were like clinging onto the wreckage of the boat, and Pete Hegseth said, "Kill those guys." That's a war crime. You can't do that. Like point blank. Like that's not ever something that you can do. You're not allowed to like dead check people. You're not allowed to go in and like kill people who can't defend themselves, even though that's kind of what we did in the first place. But it's doubly bad when you do it and they survive.
Yeah.
Like that sucks.
Yeah, that's the shit you see the villain doing.
Yes.
As they like do their aura farm walk down the hallway and like shoot people in the head when they're laying on the ground.
Precisely.
That's what the villain does in the movie. Talking about movies.
Once again, the connection to these guys thinking they're aura farming.
Yeah.
These guys think they're cool. I saw Pete Hegseth posted like what I can only imagine is an AI image of like the Franklin books, but Franklin's in a helicopter and he's shooting a boat with an RPG. And he's like, Franklin kills narco terrorists was the title. And it's like, you are the lamest motherfucker I've ever seen. Like,
dude, what does that even mean?
Once again, this, much like ICE using the AI to write their use of force stuff, is just the lamest fucking guy thing ever.
I don't even know. Like, why are these people so fucking stupid?
Why do you relish it? Why do you think that's cool? Adam Kissinger is rolling in his grave right now.
Yeah,
like at the sight of that, he had to do it the hard way.
At no point did Henry Kissinger feel the need to,
Henry Kissinger. That's what I meant.
At no point did Henry Kissinger feel the need to like post shit like that, or like, you know, to say that kind of shit to like the New York Times when they interviewed him.
Because motherfuckers lost the love for the game.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Motherfuckers don't love the game anymore and they just want to post.
It's all just vice signaling.
Everyone wants to just be a poster. And it's like, you can be a poster without like being in the government. In fact, it probably makes your job easier because you don't have the stress of being in the government. You don't have to actually like do the things you wanted to like LARP and pretend to do. You can just post about it. That's what I did, and I stay in my lane.
Oh, dude, if I had a Fox News spot, I would not leave that behind to fucking work in the government.
Yes, sir. That's got to be the cushiest job ever.
Oh my God.
You can say like almost anything on
He was
that
showing
show.
up drunk. Yeah. Brian Kilmeade said we could just kill homeless people, and he still got his job.
Nothing happened to him. Only people like us were upset about it.
Yeah, like you can say literally whatever you want on Fox News, except for like, get Fox News in trouble with the Tucker Carlson stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that's like the only thing you can't do.
You can lie only to the extent that you get sued for billions of dollars. But like, as long as you're not getting sued for billions of dollars, they do not give a shit what you say. In fact, they would probably encourage it because of ratings or whatever. You didn't have to do this. You could have just been a poster.
Yeah.
And I think that's the big conclusion to take away from that. I did also think it was interesting. Mark Kelly's got that like whole thing going on after he posted that virtue signal. Him and Alyssa Slotkin did the virtue signal about the blah, 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 disobey illegal orders, which is just the law. And he was like on some show and somebody asked him whether or not he would follow that order when he served, and he said no, which I think is like, not to give credit to Mark Kelly, especially after we just shat on him in the beginning, but it's like, especially after him being under the probe by, I think, the Pentagon or the whatever the fuck it is about being a military member and saying to disobey orders, because they're saying he said disobey lawful orders, which he didn't. He's just kind of coming out with his chest and doing this. So like, that's kind of cool, I guess.
It's better than Alyssa Slotkin's response, because Alyssa Slotkin was asked a question that was like, what orders have been unlawful? And she was like, well, I don't know of any. And it's like, well, then why'd you make the goddamn video?
No, for real. Like there is an implication.
Yeah.
Like, there is an implication that there either are unlawful orders or there will be unlawful orders.
And the easy one is just Venezuela.
Yeah.
And the fact that she didn't bring that up makes me think that, like, she fucks with it low key.
And it's like, what are they going to do?
I think Mark Kelly's the only one that's, like, facing reprisal because he's still in the Army Reserve, isn't he?
I thought it was something like once you're in the military, you're always in the military, or like some shit like that. I don't know if he's a reserve officer. I don't know much about it. I just know he's got some connection in the military that's still lasting. And they're like, all right, we're going to get his ass.
Well, and Hegseth can't do anything about it about like Slotkin because CIA. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But he can go after
arguably more evil organization.
Oh, no doubt, dude. Are you fucking? I mean,
they run laps.
We were just talking about the National Guard shooter in DC. We know true. CIA is evil. CIA puts up threes nonstop, man.
Exactly. 3-letter agency throwing up threes, half court, really, just launching them buzzer beaters at the end of the game.
And the threes are like atrocities,
like I don't know, coups, overthrowing democratically elected governments,
funding death squads,
like torture, doing whatever they're doing in the Horn of Africa.
Yeah, no, bad shit.
Yeah. And we got one more extra here. Oh. And this one's a good one. I didn't do too much research on this because I don't feel like I need to. Trump, I think, is either rumored to pardon or is pardoning the like ex-Honduran president who was convicted of drug trafficking in American court like under Joe Biden. And why I bring this up is because I want to show you this clip. Dana Bash is interviewing Markwayne Mullin about it. And I don't even give a shit about Markwayne Mullin's response for reasons that you'll see after I play you the clip. But I just want to show you how Dana Bash frames this question, because it is truly insane what Trump is doing right now. Let me pull up the clip.
Senator, I have to ask, he is clearly very concerned about Central and South American presidents allegedly trafficking drugs to the United States. So if that's the case, why is he planning to pardon the former Honduran president who was convicted by an American jury of drug trafficking, who allegedly said, this is according to testimony from his trial, he would, quote, shove the drugs right up the noses of the gringos by flooding the United States with cocaine?
Well, the particular circumstance.
Markwayne Mullin just goes, we're trying to build relationships, and that's it. So his answer doesn't fucking matter. But Trump potentially pardoning this guy.
Yeah.
Who said that allegedly, according to court transcripts?
Well, there's like the guy that previously did it was convicted for doing all the things he ascribes to TDA is getting a pardon from him.
We're gonna go to war with Venezuela, presumably over this. We're killing people in boats in international waters because of accusations of drug trafficking. And he's going to pardon the guy who actually did it and said that he would shove it in the face of gringos to like kill Americans or some shit. Huh? What?
It's just so absurd. Like I'm wondering what like deal this guy is going to land Trump in Honduras.
I don't know,
because everywhere where there's like a pardon or a good deal for a corrupt government, there's often a deal for the Trump family waiting, like for the Trump family businesses waiting. And I wonder what it is this time.
Yeah, is Jared Kushner going to like expand? Is he expanding his empire? Is there going to be a new real estate development?
Maybe, I don't know.
What's going on? I know he's also trying to like weigh in their like election that's like about to happen and get like the right wing guy in or whatever. And it's just like every time that the word pardon comes up in the context of Trump, it's just even worse than the last.
Yeah.
This isn't worse than Ghislaine, but it's like almost up there.
Yeah. Honduras, another place where we funded death squads many years
true.
ago against Nicaragua. That was very cool.
And it all comes full circle.
It all comes full circle. Oh, no, I mean, we've done unspeakable things to Latin America. Oh my God, history of violence south of the border. But Jesus Christ, man,
there's an
Bad
argument
world.
that that's why we have an immigration quote unquote crisis.
I would think so.
Yes. Yeah, bad things going on, bad things all around. Hopefully things on the Thursday show are better.
Yeah, hopefully everything turns around by Thursday.
Hopefully everything turns around on Thursday. Make sure to go look at our Substack, because I will be putting in written word form an article about the ICE agents and the AI and cops using AI.
Yeah.
That'll be coming out on Tuesday. So look forward to that, or look back to that.
Also, be
Wednesday
sure to check out my little video on Marjorie Taylor Greene.
It's a good one. And let us know if you like it, and let us know if that's something you would want to see maybe on a second channel.
Exactly. It's only about like 10 minutes long. It's not a long thing at all. It was dropped in all the main feeds and on YouTube and stuff like that. So feel free to check it out.
Very like YouTube optimized length. So please let us know if you like that kind of thing and want to see more, and what tips and tricks you would have.
And let us know if you want to help us buy a house in cash.
Let us know if you want to get us a house in cash. Please, patreon.com/head in the office. Now it's time to shout out the wonderful people who are contributing to our future buying a house in cash. Special thanks to Caden Kraut, Chris the Postman, Christy Beck, Mike Chaplinsky, Clayton Yafed, Mark Yeager, Caleb Joy, Rich Taro, Tari, Fergalaki, Max Vasquez, Jacob Rogers, Colton Muberry, Fixer Punk, Jim Egbers, Big Burrito, Cincy Elks, Joe Centrum, Adrian Sandoval, Chloe Sam 601, Colleen Cut, Jennifer DeVille, Crawfish, and Benny Bendy III, Alexis Benanti, Big Booty Beatdown, Sam Melody, Ted Cruz's Boy Toy, Dictator Jace, Luke O'Shea, Cocker Tarleson, Danielle Jackson, The Word of Microsoft, Jennifer Science, Aaron and his Gundam Gundams, Darth Father, Taylor for Content, Corey Chambers, Retro Mondo, Veronica aka V, Raxon, Ash Smith, The Grotler, Murder in a Trench Coat, Casey Lynn Kelly, AK Gon, Iguana Don, Zach Lantian, Austin Greif, Marcus Corbett, Caleb Roper, Taylor Rensock, Cammy, Tylen Freeman, Isaac Hodges, Madeline C, Anna Valinick, KCC, Say Yes to Wes, August, Particular Pikmin, Sir Capilot, Jennifer Science, Brenda's Egg, Froggy Gumdrop, Jackie Boy, Shameless, Coherent Babbles, MJ Sharp, Michaela Muncie, The Wallace 3000, Chris T, Kashan Lala, Amanda R, Tyler J, Particulon, Memphres, Rhonda Stiletto, Midwood Marxist, Joe the Mailman,
Gary from West Michigan, Shawnee GG, Juniper Not Jupiter, Stacked Crabs, I Crowley, Urban Peach, Lord of Forlorn, Holt Forsyth, Booty Snakes, Dew Fairy, Chelceratops, Austin Lima, Lane Waltz, Azim Fida Hussein, Gorgeous Girl Mukes, Brooklyn G, Noverk the Dastardly, Goldthorn, Addie Book, Merlin, Cryobongi, Sergeant Pookie, Hoodie, Kim Kitsuragi, Rose Grimm, Kristen, Jamie the Young Extremist, Jack the Heathen, Archer W, Evan Mingo, AJ Torres, Elo Nico, Jake Hall, Seth Schmidt, Noah Sajas, Majawa, Ultra the Dragon, Mercy Boku, Dick Cheney and 6-inch Heels, Luke Wechter, Henry Kraggles, Tristan Ringsmith, Yaya, Asura the Atheist, Aiden Reese, Deep State Agent, Puddle Pirate, Southern Lefty, Lark61, KC, Cannon Man, Troy H, Rock Muffalo, Nahan San Diego, Nut Mode, Nick from New Haven, Connor Nix, Sound Logic, Sleven, I Have Never Made a Woman Orgasm, John from Houston, Jordino, Haley Weibold, Pablo Vasquez, Nurse Jen, Soul DJ, Maple Big Dog, CIA Small Creators Fund, Taylor from Burnt Down Minneapolis, Northeast Nick, Aya, Retired AF and SC, YK Coolin, Wolford G, Gayest Worm, Niles Chamberlain, Sugar Free Baja Blast, Kristen the Leftist Nurse, Fake Airplane, TJ Loves Colleen, and my mom. Thank you all so much for supporting the show on Patreon. If you need your name on this list,
and you need it,
become a patron.
Imagine how big this list will be when we buy a house in cash.
So true. We'll be able to house all of those names.
Exactly, precisely.
And if you are a patron and you need your name on this list, please DM us on Patreon and we will get you added. We do intend to do a purge of people who do not deserve to be on this list.
We do.
And who knows, if you don't have your Patreon in order, you might get purged.
You might get purged, and that's fucked up, and you don't want to, so come home.
Exactly.
Come home, we miss you.
Please become a patron, subscribe on the Substack, do all the things, and see you next time.